Good day everyone, greetings at my channel. My channel is Dennis Cars Lover. I am living in China and I really love cars, and today we have the latest model from Avatr, the Avatr 07. This car debuted approximately at the same time as Zeekr 7X. This car is very close to 7X in terms of size, in terms of price. Actually, the price for the basic version starts at exactly same, about 32,000 USD as, for example, Zeekr 7X. I've never seen this car in person. Today we will study it together. And when studying, preparing for this video, I found one question which I could not answer to myself, and I will try to answer today. I don't understand why this car is in the model range, and at the same time we have the Avatr 11 in the model range. These cars are basically very similar. The size is similar. This car is a little bit shorter, but the wheelbase here is a little bit bigger. The equipment is basically same, but this car may have air suspension. Avatr 11 doesn't have air suspension. At the same time, Avatr 11 has bigger batteries, like 90 kilowatt hours and 116 kilowatt hours, and here we have only one battery, 82.5 kilowatt hours, and that car is much more expensive, about 30% more expensive. So I want to understand their marketing strategy, if they have one. Let's start. Please hit the bell, subscribe to my channel. I hope you will like this video. Let's start from the body. The length is 4,825 millimeters. The wheelbase is more than 2.9 millimeters, basically same size as Zeekr 7X. The body is made of 90% of the body is made of a high-strength steel alloy and high-strength aluminum alloy, and the huge part between the rear arches is the large die-casted part, same as Tesla makes, same as Zeekr makes, which increase the rigidity of the body significantly. And generally, Avatr claims that after usage all their high-strength technology and big parts casting, they said the rigidity increased by 36%, but I don't know compared to what, compared to Avatr 11 or compared to the same theoretical body without using this technology. Nevertheless, we have the full steel body outside. All the outside panels, they are steel with thin coating, which is important, but which is quite normal in this class of cars. And also we have the front hood is also made of steel, not made of, for example, aluminum. Now we can go directly to the batteries, because here we have only one battery. It's the battery from CATL. CATL is the investor and partner of Chang'an and of Avatr. The battery capacity is 82.5 kilowatt hours, and this battery is one of the last generation. It can intake up to 420 kilowatts at DC charger. It means that from 30 to 80% the charging will take about only 10 minutes, basically same as some latest models from Zeekr as well. The slow AC port is single phase. Unfortunately, it means it can take only up to 7 kilowatts. Now it's time to tell you that Avatr 07 has two main versions, pure electric version and hybrid version with range extensioner. It means that the internal combustion engine doesn't have any connection with the wheels. It's used just like a power generator for charging the battery. This engine here is 1.5 liter turbo engine with 156 or something horsepower, and the battery with in pure electric version is 82.5 kilowatt hours, no other options. With range extensioner, it's 39 kilowatt hours, which is quite normal, which is quite good for this size of the car, and basically up to the competitors in this price range. And by the way, the hybrid version cars, they are a little bit cheaper than the same versions of the electric cars, maybe 1, 2 or 3,000 United States dollar cheaper. Totally we have the 4 versions of equipment of electric car and 4 versions in terms of equipment of the hybrid car, and all these versions are totally equal. So the top version from electric car will be exactly same as the top version of hybrid car. Now I will try to tell you more about the versions and equipment. In terms of power, we have rear-wheel drive car with single motor, 343 horsepower, 365 Newton meters millimeters of torque. With such power, the car accelerates from 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds. And we have the four-wheel drive dual motor version with 598 horsepower, 650 or something Newton meters of torque, with acceleration from 0 to 100 in just 3.9 seconds. But the hybrid versions I just mentioned is a little bit slower, but not so significantly. Avatr suspension always surprised me, because Avatr 12 has air suspension, Avatr 11 doesn't have air suspension, and Avatr 07 has air suspension, but in only one version. Now basically it's fully aluminum suspension, at least in front. The suspension shim is close to Avatr 11, but not exactly same. In Avatr 11 we have the lower arm, which is same like in Tesla, in Zeekr X. Here the lower arm is the 3-point arm, looks like from a MacPherson, but the upper arm is the double wishbone arm, same as in Avatr 11 and in Tesla and so on. And the air suspension here comes only in one top version. You cannot order it in any other version, despite you can do it, for example, in 7X, but here no. And also only the top version features the DCC shock absorbers, which can change their characteristic every part of second online and so on. Here only in top version. So for me it's really weird, because in this price range most of competitors, they already trying to make air suspension, at least for the optional money, but here no. Okay, and if we turn the wheels, we can show you what we have here. This is the suspension, which I told you before. This is the rear wheel drive. The subframe is made of steel, the arm aluminum, upper arm also aluminum. This is the number part of the shock absorber strut. This bearing is inserted in the arm. Here we have the ground clearance under this plastic screen is 168 millimeters, but if we go to the central part of the car, the ground clearance will be a little bit better. Under the battery it will be already 187 millimeters, 83, 85, yeah, 87, something like that. Here we have the exhaust system, because it's a hybrid version. And from the back, the rear suspension is really a little bit different. We have the aluminum subframe, we have aluminum arms. Here we have the muffler system, and also we have the ground clearance under the motor is 206 millimeters, which is quite good. Here under the muffler, because it's a hybrid version, we have 290. If here would be air suspension, the air suspension traveling height is 125 millimeters. We start from the rims. The rims in all versions except the top version is R20, but here we have R21, and it's not the top version, but you can add these rims to any other versions. In four-wheel drive they are by default. And now we talk about this LiDAR on the roof. It's provided by Huawei, because Huawei is of course the partner and the investor of Avatr. This LiDAR of the last generation, with 192 lines of analyzing the environment. This LiDAR has angle of view 120 degrees in horizontal area, and 20 degrees in the vertical range. So it's one of the most advanced LiDARs on the market. And in total in this car we have 27 sensors, including this LiDAR, 3 ultrasonic millimeter wave radars, 11 HD cameras, and many others. And of course all the versions have the level 2 autopilot system, with the lane keeping assistant, with the road sign traffic road sign recognition system, with automatic parking, with blind spot monitoring. But the basic version will not have this LiDAR on the roof. Anyway, it will have the autopilot complex, but without the super precise LiDAR system. All versions have the electric tailgate with position memory, but as I understand there is no induction opening. I don't know why many manufacturers now stop producing it. The trunk is of very correct and nice shape. It's a square shape. The finishing is quite good, despite this plastic would be a little bit more beautiful, maybe with some stainless steel inserts. Anyway, here we have the nice carpet material, and in this configuration it's precisely 500 liters. But if you fold the rear seats like that, you will have 1,325 liters, which is quite good. But unfortunately we do not have the flat floor. We have here this step, and maybe it's not so convenient, but anyway this trunk is quite good. And the finishing is better than, for example, in Avatr 12, because Avatr 12 I didn't like in terms of this. Here we also have a niche, and here I would like to criticize this car, because this niche basically it's being blocked by this plastic, so maybe geometry of this is not perfectly made. As you see, it's not very pleasant to open it, and this handle looks basically very cheap and not very solid, and it's moving like this. I made this in many other avatars. All these small plastic features, they are not so good. Also, we don't have any hooks for fixation of cargo or something. This niche is maybe about 20 to 30 liters. Here we have some factory organizing stuff, which looks not very usable and useful. But anyway, we have what we have, and the size you can see now on your screen in the infography picture. Here we have one more feature, which I don't know what is this. It looks like the rear driving light, but when you drive with the open tailgate, but usually it's not typical for Chinese cars. So if someone knows what it is, just mention in the comments, please. Anyway, we have the turn signal here, the normal lights here, and the additional stop signal probably here. Other features and differences between the versions are inside of this car. And we start from the steering wheel. In the basic version, this is the false leather, actually fake leather. In middle version, in the top version with one motor and basic version with dual motor, it can be added natural leather here. And in top four-wheel drive version, we have natural leather by default. Exactly same situation with the seats. These parts can be added the full grain Napa leather. And in top version we already have the full grain Napa leather, but these inserts, they are not the Napa leather, they are always the false leather. The door cards are a little bit more luxurious, and for example in Zeekr 7X, everywhere here we have the finishing of soft fake leather. Here we have the silk kind material, the flock material. Here we also have the finishing of leather here as well, of course fake leather. And here we have the audio system, which is a truly premium audio system with from Meridian. It's a British brand. We have 25 speakers in total. We have .1, .4 system. We have two subwoofer in the trunk. They put a lot of attention to this audio system on their website. They tell the material of each tweeter, each speaker, and so on. And the sound quality here is really, really good. The total power of these 25 speakers is more than 2000 watts. Here we have the only feature, the very specific feature for Avatr. I don't know any other brand who makes it. This is the gravity, zero gravity seats for the both front passengers, for the driver and the passenger. Zero gravity mode can be switched just by one button, by pressing one button like this. It's a very comfortable mode. Here I cannot touch the pedals at all. It's very convenient for resting somewhere. It's super nice option, but I wonder if we can use it while driving. To be honest, I don't know if can or not. But for this feature, I would put some extra points to Avatr brand. The design of the cockpit is taken directly from Avatr 12. I assume that this large LCD screen, which is 35.6 inches, is taken directly from there, and the part number should be exactly same. Here you can change the widgets which you show here by your choice. Here we have the cluster gauge. Here we can have the additional screens if we buy the extra 2000 USD rear view mirror cameras instead of the normal mirrors. This is the octangular steering wheel, which you may like or you may not like, but active and counter accidental steering is totally impossible with the steering wheel unless you're well trained for it. Here we have the wireless charger, which works same as in Avatr 12. You put your phone here, this block goes down, and it lets the airflow for cooling of your mobile phone while charging go out of here directly. Here we have the touch screen, the main LCD screen for 15.4 inches. This is the system from Huawei Harmony OS, which is fast, which is responsive, which has English from factory. It has English and Chinese by default. Basically everything else is taken from other models of Avatr, so nothing is changed. Here we have the seat menu, and by default the front seats in this car, they have massage, heating and ventilation in all versions except the low version, but there you can edit as well. There will be no massage, I think, but the rear seats, unfortunately, for the rear seats, how to use it, we have only heating in all versions except the top version, and in top version for the rear seats we have massage and ventilation as well. This is not top version, so we have only heating. The massage have plenty of regimes, plenty of intensive modes and so on. It's really nice. Now I am checking it. It's the back area massaging right now. Here we have the cup holders, which can be made like that for design. Here we have the huge box with flock inside, of course not so glamorous as in Zeekr 7X. Here we have the one more glove box with a very nice flock finishing. And also we have very nice material on the ceiling, which is I think called dynamic, which is some kind of Alcantara but a little bit more soft. And when you put the ambient lighting in red, it matches this brown color exactly perfectly. This car almost doesn't have the physical buttons except on the steering wheel, and here we have the physical buttons for the light. It's worth mentioning that the light is inserted in the rear view mirror. So everything you should do from the main screen. For example, if you want to open the panorama, you should go to the quick settings somewhere here. You should go to quick control somewhere here, and you can just push the button or unpush the button to move the sunshade. But at least this car has the sunshade, because Avatr 12, which is 30% more expensive, doesn't have the sunshade at all, and it causes problem when you're driving in the hot weather, to be honest. Multicolor ambient lighting in all versions. As I remember, they used 1500 LEDs to make this ambient. Here we have more than 300 of colors. We have customization like that, and this is quite developed and quite nice ambient lighting. Now I'm sitting behind myself on the second row, and I must say that compared to Zeekr 7X, this is a totally fail. This is a big failure because the floor is very high. Just see how my legs don't touching the seat cushion. The space in front of my knees is quite okay, but it's much less than in 7X. The space over my head is quite okay. Here we also have the same materials as in front, so here everything is same beautiful as in front, but there is no much entertainment, there is no much comfortability because of this high floor. And for example, this armrest, it has the sensor panel, because these cars we can open the panoramic sunroof from here as well, the shade of the panoramic sunroof, but it works not so nice. Here we have only steering of the heating, because this car doesn't have massage and ventilation in the rear seats, only the top version has it. And also we have the adjustment of the angle of the backrest, but it's only 7 degrees of adjustment. So this is the best position, and this is the highest. One moment. This is the highest, the most up position, and basically no much difference. This adjustment basically for nothing. So if we consider the 7X rear second row with optional zero gravity seats with optional touch screens as 10 out of 10 with its level of comfortability, here I would say it's maybe 3 out of 10. Despite this car has longer wheelbase than Avatr 11, but here we doesn't have anything better than Avatr 11. I don't know where they spend the money which they used for development of this car, to be honest. And also this car, compared to Zeekr X or 7X or whatever, doesn't have the electric suction doors in any version. It doesn't have electric doors as well, but this is no problem for me. But the electric suction door for this price, it's already a must. Now it's time to make a test drive of Avatr 07, and this is the version with range extensioner. So it has 1.5 liter petrol engine, but this engine doesn't anyhow connect with the wheels. So basically we will drive just the electric car. And this car has more than 340 horsepower on rear wheel, rear axle, because this is just single motor car. Let's try it out. We are now in the industrial area in Shanghai, which is called Baoshan district. Before here it used to be the huge steel factory, which is now moved to another province nearby. But the roads here is basically as an industrial area. The roads are not of good quality. That's why I would like to start talking about the suspension firstly. And the suspension itself is extremely soft. It's a kind of water mattress suspension. But the culture of driving here and of riding here, it's not so nice, first of all, because the very poor sound insulation. The sound insulation here is worse than Zeekr 7X, and it's worse than in, for example, Volkswagen ID4, and it's even worse than, for example, in old Volvo XC40, which I've driven today here, which is a 5-year-old car, and now it costs literally peanuts. The acceleration here I don't like as well. We are now in the sport mode, but unfortunately you have power only after 1-2 seconds after you pushing the acceleration pedal. This car feels like it have a turbo lag, but of course it's not any turbo lag because the turbo here is only in the gasoline generator for your battery. But when I push it, even now in this situation, I can push the acceleration to the floor and nothing happens. In 2 seconds nothing happens. Oh my god, it's maybe the only car I met something like this in electric car, where from the start you don't have any reaction to the pedal. I think I had some very cheap electric Chinese cars where I had the same, but those cars were like totally rubbish. They cost like 10 or 8,000 USD new or something like that. So I'm extremely surprised with this adjustment and with this car behavior. I hear the tires extremely loudly, starting from maybe 40 kilometers per hour, but I also feel everything which is happening around. Oh my god, it's so slow. Everything which is happening around, because I feel like the glasses are not close to the end, but they're all close to the end, so sound insulation is surprisingly bad. And when I just step the acceleration to the floor, yeah, 1-2 seconds just lag. After that, the car, of course, starts accelerates because 300 something horsepower, of course, they are here. Also, the mirrors, they are very huge, but their position, I don't know why it's moved backwards too much for me. I would like them to have 10 centimeters in front, and basically it's possible because the parts on which they are mounted is moved, it's mounted at an angle to be more backwards. I don't know why to do that. I really feel they would be much better if they were 10 centimeters front. Okay, now we accelerate from 0 to 100 right here. Now it's very, very slow, and from 40 it starts to give you power. It's now 100, and I don't know why, but the motor is turned on, the internal combustion engine is turned on. I don't understand why. Maybe it gives more power to you or something, but it's not the type of hybrid. Okay, the turning is quite okay, it was about 50, so basically even now I want to overtake this truck, and let's just imagine the situation. It's 70. I want to overtake. Everything I could do is 90. So it's, for example, it's much slower compared to Zeekr 7X, but still okay. It's quite workable. In the city you can drive it despite this awful imitation of turbo lag. And this is the consumption chart. We have the average fuel consumption 5.6 liters. This is, I think, exactly what Avatr claims officially. They say it's around 5 to 6 liters or something. They have 45-liter fuel tank in this car. And we have the electricity consumption 27.2 kilowatt hours, which is basically normal for aggressive driving, but it's not fast driving because this car cannot drive really fast, cannot accelerate fast. So 27.2 for this car, which weighs more than 2,300 kilos. With 3 passengers, it's about 2,600 kilos. It's totally normal. ID4 will use same, Avatr 11 will use same, Zeekr X will use same. From test drive it also used the same. So with this battery 82.5 and aggressive driving, you can count on 300 kilometers at max with the big battery, with the 82.5 battery in the city. And the hybrid car can do around 250 kilometers in pure electric mode by CLTC cycle. Here we have the different modes of using this car. We have pure electric, prefer electric, auto, or prefer fuel. And when we accelerate very heavily, I already asked, the car tries to eliminate the battery exhaustion, the battery overusage of kilowatt hours to compensate it. So that's why we have the internal combustion engine turning on. And here when we use electric only, they give you warning that please don't exhaust the battery too much. Okay, I think I've understood this car. This is something which Avatr made to take some market share. They made it very quickly. It's a little bit raw product, a little bit weirdly adjusted product, and basically this is a very, very bad iteration of Avatr 11. Avatr 11 is a truly premium car. It has some features which you may not like. It has some retarded points from the leaders of the market, but still it's a premium solid car which you feel quite expensive when you sit inside. Here you also feel expensive when you look at the ceiling material, when you look at the sound system, speakers, covers, maybe when you look at some touch screens. But when you start driving this car, in my opinion, you feel that it's a total failure because we have some weird lag when we're pressing the acceleration. We have not perfect adjustment of the suspension. We have even the mirrors in some weird position. They really should be somewhere here, in my opinion, because the mirror element is right here, you see. So, to cut the long story short, if you compare this car, for example, to Zeekr 7X, then Zeekr 7X is 10 points. This car I would give maybe 2 points. If you compare it with Avatr 11, this car is pretty similar, but it's a worse copy of Avatr 11, and Avatr 11 I would give, for example, 7 or 8, and here I would give also like 3, maybe 3 points or something. Nevertheless, this car is available to export from China. The delivery time is very short from factory. Probably there is no much use for this car or something. I can send you a specification for the old version if you just contact me via the contact information under this video. Please push the like button, hit the bell, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Dennis. I really love cars, and you can leave a comment which car you would like me to review in my next video.